Real quickly, guys, before this episode begins, I just want to take a moment to thank all my subscribers. Without you, this content wouldn't be nearly as fun to make. And so if you like this content, like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode. How's it going, my friends? Room Picker here, back with another lock picking video. And today we're going to be looking at the strange master lock phenomenon of why you psychologically have issues picking this low-end master lock. So let's go ahead and throw it in the vise and get this episode started. Alright, I have the master lock number 4 in the vise. We're going to use the key to show that it works. This is the same one I just did on my speed picking video. And we're going to use 40 thousandths top the keyway in this hook 1 and 18 thousandths from Peterson. And we're going to get it open. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, we are not going to pick all of these locks, but I'm just going to pick a couple of the notable ones. So this one, to establish a baseline, you saw how fast we got it open. This one is all standard pins and very sloppy tolerances. You have to use very heavy tension with it. And it's a very good beginner lock for people just starting to get into lock sport. Moving up, we go to the Brinks 40mm laminated padlock. Let's go ahead and throw it in the vise. This is your first entrance into security pins. This particular lock has one spool and still pretty crappy tolerances. We want 40 thousandths. But is the first time that you learn to experience counter rotation. And we got it open. Let's try to get that false set. For some reason, it didn't show up very nicely. I think I set the pin at the same time. Let me try this hook too. There we go. So now you can see that false set. And so now if we hit that pin right there, I think that's pin 4, I think, we get the open. So not terribly difficult, but adding complexity because we added a security pin into this. Now I'm not going to pick this. I'm not going to pick this Lockwood Asa Abloy. It's the same situation, but now we introduce 2 spools. And this is the bidding on the key. These first 3 locks here are what I would call introductory heavy tension locks. And you're just starting to get into security pins. Like I said, 1 spool and 2 spools. Coming out of that, you end up going into green belt, which introduces the Master Lock 410 Loto, which is your first foray into a lot of security pins, and it's a dead core, which teaches you tension control. Let's put this key back in this one too. Okay. So this one we like to use 40 thousandths top the keyway, and I use my hook 7 from Peterson. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Now these ones can be pretty difficult to pick. It stumps a lot of people starting off, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too terrible. So I got a click out of one of them. Particularly what I find most challenging about this one is it likes to get, at least my pick does, it gets caught up on the warding a lot. There we go, we got our first spool. Come on. I think that was an overset. This back pin. don't know why this always seems to give me issue. Overset. Let's start over. If this takes me too long, we'll just skip it for the purposes of this demonstration. But I'd like to show. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I can see even with being a high-level picker, these can still cause issues. Let's try this hook. Normally I use my other one, but this one seems to not wanting to cooperate. There we go, that's better. Oops. And that'll happen to you a lot when you're picking as well. Now you'll pick out your tension wrench. There we go. So you can see the stark contrast and the jump. You go from heavy tension to now having to use medium tension and tension control. This one to put up a significantly longer fight. So we're moving up the belt ranks. We've conquered these 4 locks. Now we're going to go up into the American 1100. So this is where you're at this point as far as regular pin tumbler, other than the ASTA 700, like no gimmicks kind of situation. Like this is chock full of security pins. You have serrated pins, serrated spools, serrated standards. Not like crazy good tolerances, but definitely better than what you've been dealing with before. So 40 thousandths top the keyway, and we're going to use this same thing, hook 1. So I'm using medium light tension. And we're going to see if we can get this open. It's always awkward to pick these at this angle because the core is like not straight up and down. So we're getting a ton of clicks, but no false set, no open yet. I've only picked this one once. Let's see if this hook does better for us. This one does not want to cooperate today. Oh, there we go. This angle seems to be working good. So what I'm doing a technique called pulsing tension. It's a technique you learn when you start getting up to this level. There we go, that's good. There we go. There we go. Okay, back to our demonstration. And you can see this hook has seen, this hook has seen some better days, but still trucking along. So, you see once we start getting into this medium, the medium light territory, these locks start putting up more of a fight. Now, I'm not gonna pick the other locks preceding this, but I can show them to you. So this is the Chicago Duo. And at this point, you're using light tension. This one has 13 wafers, I believe. And then we move into the Primus. This is just a gut key. It doesn't operate it, but you can see the bidding on the key. And it has a secondary locking mechanism of the sidebar. And then finally, like we were talking about earlier, we have our M-Heart where you got to rotate and lift to shear, which is the gimmick of this. You got to use light tension so you can rotate these pins. So let me move this out of the way and we'll transition back to the desktop. Okay, so now that we have all these back on the desktop, let's go again and categorize. So these are heavy tension here. These three right here are light tension, and this is your medium and then like medium light tension. So let's go back to this in as a baseline. We saw how we were at the beginning. Now that we've gone through and conditioned ourselves to use light tension, let's see how we fare. So you can see I'm struggling a lot more. There we go. Still. Let's see if we can get this open. There we go. So struggling a lot more with it now. Now, to get to the finally what we were talking about at the top of the video. When you are progressing through the belt list, you are, like I said, heavy tension, medium light, light tension. When you exclusively pick these light tension locks, or even so blue to black, your body instinctively, after picking so many of them, you instinctively use light tension, if you were to jump straight back to this master lock from these, and it's not going to be a permanent thing, it's just a weird mental thing that you immediately, like once your brain switches back into gear, you have no issue, is that you're actually using light tension on this lock, even though you should be using light tension, and you will easily overset those standard pins. And once you recognize that, then you switch to heavy tension and you get the open, no problem. If to overcome this, what I've done is switch between light to heavy tension, like cycle through the locks, and just, don't stick into one group. Like, I know a lot of people like to pick only high security locks, and it's nothing wrong with that. It just kind of hinders you down the road. And it's not, like I said, it's not a permanent thing. It's just a weird mental phenomenon that I've noticed and talked to people about. So that is the master lock phenomenon. I'd be interested to hear your feedback, and you can run some tests yourself. Pick a lot of these 1100s, pick them, and then go back to the master lock. You'll notice it yourself. Like I said, I just showed it in the video myself. So if you guys like this content, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.